Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Woo!
Episode
Fine.
100.
Yeah.
We're done talking about that shitty show, Discovery.
Yeah.
And now, on the 100th episode, we can do what's really important, Max. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We
Finish
can talk.
something.
We can talk about Abbey Road by the Beatles.
Yeah, that thing.
Mm-hmm. Beatlemania continues.
It feels
And
like
this
you're
is-
trying to avoid something here.
What?
Is this like...
No,
Is
this
this
is
a
just
way-
we took a break from Beatlemania to
Yeah,
watch
of
Discovery,
course,
and now
yeah.
Discovery's over. We watched it, and it was bad, and now we can
Mhm.
talk about the Beatles again. And what
Yeah.
better album to talk about on our 100th episode than... I mean, this was like the highest... I think this was number 3 on the iTunes, Apple Music.
Yeah. I just need
What,
to
top
pretend
100
that
albums?
this is... I just need to pretend that this is alright, so you don't go into a PTSD episode from, having to talk about the event, But alright,
Well,
yeah.
saying that doesn't help, so now I'm going to go into a PTSD episode because you ruined it by...
I wasn't saying
Talking like that.
what you don't realize. I
Now
was
I'm
turned
confused.
towards the camera not you. I was turned
sorry.
towards the camera while I was
All right,
saying
well, let me
that.
give that another take. Max, what are you saying over there? Come on, we got to talk about Beatlemania. Anyway, yeah, no, 100 episodes. We got to talk about Abbey Road. This is like
Yeah.
the most important album, dude. You had Come Together right now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a, I'll be honest, I didn't really care for it that much. It was, it's weird that I feel like I've heard that song in like a trailer for a movie.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember what the movie was or who made it. I don't know why.
I don't remember either.
No, maybe it'll come back to me. I'm sure it must be important if it's like sticking in my mind.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, you got Maxwell's Silver Hammer. That song was awful. That song was really, really bad. Right?
Yeah.
Bang, bang. Down goes Maxwell's Silver Hammer. He's like killing people, and that's the song. I don't get why. What was Paul McCartney thinking with that one?
I don't know because I haven't listened to the album.
Max, come on, this is the 100th episode, and you didn't listen to
Yeah, I know. I
Abbey
haven't,
Road to
Yeah,
prepare?
I was busy watching something else.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Whatever. Is it like another shitty movie or
Yeah, I don't know. It depends.
some
It's all
crap on
subjective.
Netflix?
It's subjective in the
Also.
end, right? If it's bad or good, right?
Yeah.
Like your
I suppose
opinion
so.
on Abbey Road, right? And
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking about it, it's like Maxwell's Silver Hammer is the kind of song where it's like, I feel like maybe you could imagine like a music video really heavily to it. Like there's a
Yeah.
very clear story,
Yeah.
Makes me think about like who would you want to direct that music video? Somebody who's
Yeah.
directed like a good amount of music videos. Maybe
Yeah.
something that maybe music videos are kind of their strength. Maybe they've
Yeah.
tried to make movies a couple times and they've just never really hit. So maybe they should go back to making music videos.
Yeah, for
It
once.
seems like that's kind of basically the entirety of their process as
skill
a
set,
creative.
yeah.
Is like listening to a song and then imagining like
scenes, yeah.
scenes over the songs and characters that are doing stuff while the
They
song
do-
is playing.
They do that thing where they close their eyes and they go, oof, I can, yeah, I can see that, yeah. Oof. It's just in their imagination,
Yeah.
immediately to the beat. There's a scene where someone punches somebody in the face and it just on the beat drop, or something like that, it's
Yeah.
like, that's...
Yeah, exactly. I used to do that. You're sitting in the car, you're traveling, listening to a song, and you're like,
Yeah.
you got to keep your mind occupied.
Mm-hmm.
If only there was some entertainment that was made to purely just to keep my mind occupied and not really satiate any other feeling I might have. No, I can't think of any though. Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah.
sneeze. Bless me. Am I right?
Must be the allergies.
I
This
think it
is-
must be. I haven't experienced allergies for a while, but they've been really strong like the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I haven't had to take medicine for a while, but I guess I'm gonna need to.
As
medicine.
I don't think you
impurities.
should do that because after all, we are God's favorite podcast, so he should take care of you. You know.
That's true. I mean, if he wants us to not have to interrupt the show with sneezes, then yeah, definitely.
He does that. He manifests a finger that goes under your nose to stop you from sneezing.
Yeah, I hear a whispered "Gesundheit" on the wind.
Yeah.
I look around like, who could have done that?
Who was that? Yeah.
Who put their finger in my nose?
Our biggest, dearest
I
viewer.
was about to seize. I dream and God appears to me and he says, if you're about to sneeze, say spaghetti and you won't have to sneeze anymore. Which, by the way, I think that worked once for me and then it never worked again, so I just abandoned that one.
Oh, is that a thing? That's like a...
Yeah, I remember
didn't
that
know
being
that.
a thing. If you're about to sneeze, if you say spaghetti, I think it interrupts it. I don't think there's anything specifically special about the word spaghetti, but rather just the action of having a phrase that kind of
It's like a trigger. It's like an anti-trigger.
yeah, exactly. But it worked once, and then every subsequent time I still just sneezed. So it was yeah, all right. Either that or it was a trick to make people say spaghetti when they're about to sneeze.
Have you ever thought this might be an addiction of some kind? To sneezing. It isn't actually, most people can go without.
I have a sneezing addiction.
Yeah, it's just
Have you ever met somebody with a fetish for
for
sneezing?
sneezing
And then boogers and stuff?
Oh, and boogers. Look at it.
Yeah, snot.
No, I have never.
There was
met
a guy in a
Maybe-
server I was in once online that well, I don't know if I ever talked to him directly, but he was in the group chat, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he confessed about having a thing for sneezing. He had videos of people being sneezed on, and it's I get you might have that as a joke, oh yeah, my fetish, sneezing, lol. But I think it's the fact that he then posted videos.
Oh,
It's either you're more committed to the bit than I thought you would be, or
from a sneeze
I mean,
folder,
there's no other reason why you'd have those videos, right?
Yeah.
Other than for sneeze fetish.
Maybe he has all my ironic fetishes folder, and then I say I'm actually into tickling or something like that, and there's I have
A very
folder with,
ironic fetish. Nobody's
but it's,
actually into that.
no one would ever in the right mind be into that.
Yeah, that would be weird. That would be
or
weird.
licking lemons fetish, or something like that.
Also strange. Nobody could ever actually be into that.
Yeah.
Much like Abbey Road, nobody could ever actually be into this album. I'm kind of surprised this was so
Autoerotic
high up on the...
asphyxiation. Because that's
on
dangerous,
iTunes.
right? No one will ever do that, right?
No, true.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
No one would ever do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you go on about Abbey Road. What's your Beetle out of Beetle rating for the Abbey Road?
Well, I would knock it down a few points, but it's got that really iconic cover, of Abbey Road. The Beatles walking across it from one side to the other.
Yeah.
It's interesting, watching that, looking at that picture, seeing the Beatles cross. They look a lot like heroes on their way to a battle, a big battle to maybe
crossing.
Save innocent people that are in a village that are being
saving
subjugated.
the music industry in a way,
I don't know. The feeling I was getting more of the line of they've been approached by villagers a la Seven Samurai, and have been asked, we need your help because we can't defend ourselves and our precious wheat.
Yeah.
And they've reluctantly accepted to help them, and they're on their way to that battle now.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I feel that way about this cover.
Yeah.
But hey, who am I to whom? No, Max. It's coming back to me. No.
Oh no.
I remembered this movie because I watched it and so little happened in it. It was so boring. I forgot and suppressed it.
Yeah, you
It's
suppressed
coming back to me. The Rebel Moon, Child of Fire, Part 1.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Your trigger
Man, I'm
face.
so glad they never made a Part 2 of that one. Am I right, buddy?
Yeah. Good. And they'll
think
never
they
make
only-
any more parts of that movie.
Yeah,
ever
that
again.
first part was just such a flop.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a flop. I feel like it's one of those ones where the part one Netflix juiced the numbers. They really pulled out all the stops of being like, every person that watched the up next screen for more than 0.1
Someone
seconds
hearing
counted as a
it,
viewing.
Someone
Somebody hearing
walking
it.
past you
Yeah.
on the bus.
We
that
just assumed everybody.
You were watching it on the bus on your phone, Netflix on and someone walked past you, and that counted as a view also from them, separate view from that person walking past.
We just assumed that everybody watched it in like a giant viewing party of their entire family and extended family. So we quintupled the number that we actually have, to accommodate for that fact. Let's be honest, fact.
Yeah, Netflix was complaining about, the fact that, people were account sharing, but now they could say they times the all by all the households.
Factoring in account shares, chances are Rebel Moon Part 1 was watched by, we're thinking, between 1 and 3 trillion people. But the number's still out. So we're just going to chalk that one up as a win.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to Part 2.
From 10 people to trillion, it's just a huge window. It just tells you nothing.
Yeah. The first part is interesting because it came out around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense, part 1 of a movie, everybody's home for the holidays, they need some crap to put on.
Yeah.
Put on Rebel Moon Part 1.
Yeah, they want to put on family viewing with mentions of sexual assault in it,
It's a PG-13 max, or a 12 as we call it in the UK. So although there's definitely 30 minutes until the first threat of sexual assault. I say first because there's more than one in this movie. It's a bit of family fun. But then this one, they were just like, I don't know, May, April.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like around Easter. It was just like mid-April, right? They were just like, fuck it. Part 2.
They had to. It does feel like they just had, I don't know, they just didn't finish cutting the second part or something. They just.
Well, it's another thing of juicing the numbers.
Yeah.
Because now they can say, 1 trillion people watched Part 1. And then 2 trillion people watched Part 2, which means the total Rebel Moon viewing numbers are actually 5 trillion.
Yeah.
If you
count the viewers, if viewers of Rebel Moon were a country, they would have the highest GDP per capita.
They would literally outnumber everybody on Earth in that one. Which is really showing the success of Zack Snyder.
I know. He created his own economy,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
This movie sucked, and this podcast is called Dead Ensigns. This is episode 100. We've done 100 of these. If you count the decimal ones, maybe a bit more. Don't worry about it. 100 numbered episodes.
We wanted to save that number for very special. We'll save episode 100. Episode 420 is going to be special. Episode 111, right? That's like a special number for some people.
That's only 11 away.
Yeah, I know. Soon.
Not far off.
There's some other numbers, I don't know.
Yeah, and boy, let me tell you,
666. That would be a special number.
That's a good one.
Oh, we'll actually skip that because we're God's favorite podcast.
Episode 16. Oh, wait, we already went past that one.
Yeah.
Fuck. Episode 90. Wait. The backwards version. Yeah, and boy, let me tell you, what a swing and a miss saving this for episode 100 was.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. It's not so much that I thought there would be more to talk about, but rather just like, I don't know, I didn't want a random episode of Discovery to be it, but then also I didn't want the last episode of Discovery to be episode 100.
Yeah.
But it's looking like maybe that was more appropriate. Who knows?
Yeah, honestly, it would have been a longer episode because we don't have much to say about this movie.
Yeah, we'll just, yeah. Max, what
Yeah.
did you think of Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver? At least I can say about this one, I still don't know who the Child of Fire
Yeah,
is.
I was.
But at
yeah.
least in this one, I know who the Scar Giver is.
Yeah, because they tell us.
They tell you
And
immediately.
This
It's
movie,
like the very first thing they tell you.
what I can tell you is that this movie is really good about telling you, not showing. It just tells you a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of great stuff. One of my favorite scenes was when they're just the seven samurai are
Yeah.
just sitting around a table, drinking, having a drink, and the leader guy is just like, anyway, should we
General
talk about
Titus.
General Titus was like, anyway, does anybody want to talk about that backstory?
Yeah,
Or
I know. It's so.
anybody want to go over their special personal reason why they want to kill the Empire, regardless of what's happening right now?
And the cool thing is that they did it twice in this movie with the girl giving out the gifts to them and going like, "You're this character trait. You're this character trait."
I don't remember that scene. I'm gonna be honest. I started. Here's what I did. In Final Fantasy XIV, that you get an island in which it's very grindy. You set up things for little robots to make, and then you have to gather the resources to do that. And you can set up their schedule of making things like a week in advance. So I was like, okay, I'm going away this weekend. Let me set up a schedule for these guys, and then during the movie, I'll just go around and collect all of the shit. For them to make. And by the time I had finished that, there was still an hour of the movie left. And I was like, oh, brother. Oh, God damn it.
God damn it.
God damn it.
I was hoping that this would have just ended while I was
I was hoping that it would be longer than the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping it would be like because it's not. I was doing a mindless task, so I was paying attention. I know what happened in the movie because it's very straightforward. It is the last half of Seven Samurai in which they have to train the villagers, and then the people attack, and then they win.
You don't, and that's why you didn't enjoy this movie, because what Zack Snyder is known for is the details, and you missed all the details in this movie, and that's why. Yeah.
Well, can you help enlighten me then? What details did you enjoy?
I enjoyed the Clockwork London from the.
Yeah, I remember that backstory. That was interesting because the guy who has that backstory and that location is like the Conan guy.
Yes. Yeah.
It was like he's kind of billed in the first movie as being like a spiritual animal nature guy. He's the last of his people. And he has a special ability to like commune with animals. And then they show us his country here, and it's like steampunk London.
Yeah,
and the only detail they have that's like, oh, his nature is that he's got a big griffin walking behind him. And it's like,
they love griffins in steampunk London, you know.
Apparently.
But yeah, I love that. I love the detail of the woman that's not in the first movie. She's at the end of the first movie, and then she just kind of is in the second one.
The rebel girl,
yeah,
the rebel lady, the one that the rebel leader kind of like sacrificed himself to save.
Yeah,
and then she takes part in the war. I like that. There's I like the bit near the end when her and the Conan guy are like on the front lines watching the robot kill a tank or whatever. Yeah. And the conversation they have is the guy is like, kind of thinking about it, actually, I kind of actually don't want to die right now. And she's like, yeah, me either, but well, what can you do? We're kind of already in it
now. We're in the sauce right now. We can't really back out, Yeah,
we're kind of deep in. We've gotten more than our feet wet at this point.
I love how the detail of the reports and how they don't make sense, and how like the little kid was like, "Yes, we do the report." He's like,
"We're collecting so much wheat," and then it took them no time to be like, "Yeah, he's fucking lying to us, bro." Should we go and get them now? Let's still just chill.
Yeah, let's give him more time. Yeah, because
There's
we
no
need
way
time,
they could get one over on us.
Yeah.
Bam! Oop! Foxholes. Yeah, you just get in a hole and hide underground with a top over it, and then pop up and bazooka their ship. It's easy. Jeezy,
Yeah.
they apparently just leave that shit parked and open right there.
That's the thing that fucks with me. It's so stupid. Because again, coming back to the fact that this movie is just fucking Seven Samurai, right? Like in that movie, there were just a gang, right? They were just like a local gang, right? They were just some schmucks.
They were bandits.
They were bandits, right? And their level of expertise or combat ability could vary, right? Because they're just some schmucks, right?
Yeah.
That
the tension in Seven Samurai doesn't necessarily come from the bandits. It comes in the difference in class between the samurai and the villagers. Which is a point I noted in this movie, because it's in Seven Samurai, they decide they're going to train the villagers, the farmers and stuff, and it's laughable because it's well, they're farmers. What are they gonna? They can't take out a bunch of bandits, you know.
Yeah.
We can't train them. This is stupid. But they come through and they learn how to fight these bandits. They learn some strategy from the guys. And in amongst that, there's a lot of tension because you have a lot of different situations where they bring out all of these weapons that they grabbed off of corpses years ago when there was feudal wars and stuff.
Yeah.
And the samurai are pissed off because the samurai are pissed off because they're these are people's treasures that you the noble samurai that you ripped their fucking belongings off of them scavengers fucking vultures.
Yeah, there's tension and in this
movie,
and
it's very hard for them to find people to help them initially when they go to the city, because nobody is I'm not gonna work for food. I'm a samurai. I've got even if it's even if I'm a bum, even if I've got no work, it's still embarrassing.
It's
to
degrading,
work for food.
yeah.
It's degrading.
Yeah.
In this movie, they're we'll teach them how to use guns, and I'm it's fine. Why wouldn't you? You literally just have to point a thing at somebody and pull a trigger.
Yeah, the fact is that for our nation, that is this fucking
Empire.
What is it? Mother World? Is that what they call it?
The Warhammer Empire.
The Warhammer. They suck at war. They're so
really not very
fucking
smart.
bad at war.
I think they've just somehow managed to have a lot of power, so they can throw it around. The big thing we're shown a few times in this movie is that they love just shooting at things from space.
Yeah.
But
orbital strikes seem to be a go-to.
They love orbital strikes, which I guess in this situation you don't necessarily have to be good at war if you can just shoot somebody from the face of the earth.
Honestly,
from
but
space.
we see them doing assaults.
No, I
during
know.
The that's the thing. It's I'm not even doubt. I don't want to give this show the benefit of the doubt.
A big reason why in this movie the enemies fail is because in this movie the enemies are characters. In Seven Samurai, they're kind of a horde of bandits. There's not really necessarily any bandit character in the movie Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
They're just a group. In this movie, the enemies are characters, and it allows Zack Snyder to very easily just make their leader really angry and stupid.
Yeah.
Because he's oh, well, you know what? Maybe we'll just kill all of our guys so we can get this one lady who's already infiltrated our ship and is killing people.
Yeah.
Are they just gonna fly back home with her running around the vents and stuff? I'm sure this will get me a Medal of Honor. The
thing about it is
the
that
scar giver.
Because there's so much. Oh, it's just so stupid. Because it's implying the fact that it's all right, we're gonna get something really good, right, for bringing her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Mother World is it's the implication of them being so desperate for the grain is that there's something bad happening, right? There's the Mother World is underlying corruption is happening. It's internally rotten, all right? So it's it's powerful, but it's empty on the inside, sort of thing.
That's the
then they
hubris
go
of the noble.
And then we'll go oh, I will just go back. But then it's what? But it's bad. You'll be all right maybe for a year, but it's going to people, your ship is gonna mutiny and they're gonna kill you. If you don't give them.
No, evidently they didn't care. Evidently, because the noble is just let's just blast them and take the Scar Killer back home with us. And
Yeah.
everybody's conscious of the fact that it's like, you know, it's good for you because you'll just get more standing. The rest of us are fucked in that scenario. But they're still just like, all right, just can't say no. You're the boss. So, and then they do it, and then luckily the main character has put bombs on the big guns,
The
so
reactor.
that when they start to fire, the whole ship blows up.
It's funny that the reactor, they fuel it with coal, like they just shovel coal.
Yeah, they're just I don't know if it's actually coal, but yeah, they do have like well, you know, they have
just
people
like
shoveling
guys with
shit
shovels,
into,
But what else? There's some stupid stuff with the wheat. The wheat montage is so fucking stupid.
the wheat.
To
They're
me.
gathering the wheat.
They're gathering the wheat, and
I
it's
love the
like
wheat.
watching the making of Rebel Moon Part 2 is like they're talking about how they really grew wheat for the scene and stuff like that. And I just in general, like, I feel so bad, making like kind of fun, right? We're making fun of this fucking movie, but there was just so much effort, from so many people in this movie, and it's been
Crap
so
takes effort too. Who cares?
yeah, and I know, but it's just like
I
I
don't know,
appreciate the work of the people that worked on this movie, except for Zack Snyder. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the anti-element in this, because like
I don't commend them or berate them. At the end of the day, they're just people getting a paycheck.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
They got
definitely,
paid
yeah.
doing their thing, and I don't think anybody's running around being like, "Hey, I'm the guy that grew the wheat in the movie Rebel Moon." And if they are, then more power to them. I don't think they need the movie to be good or bad, and they certainly don't care what I think about it.
Yeah, definitely, but yeah, I just looking at that for making of Rebel Moon,
Well, I watched the making of Rebel Moon too. I didn't actually. I don't know if I watched the making.
See them like where fucking Zack Snyder's talking about how we built this like custom lens. We like took apart these 4 lenses and we made like one, and I was like, wow. So much effort for nothing.
It's a big reason why you kind of look at Zack Snyder, and it's easy to think sometimes, like, does he really know what he's doing?
Yeah, it's because like
why is he doing that? Like, I'm not watching this movie going like, damn, they got some crazy stuff. I'm watching this movie going, this shit looks so fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's
like the effects don't look particularly good, and the sets look really fake.
Yeah.
Everything looks kind of bad in this movie.
Yeah,
the fucking stupid like heated swords. I'm gonna be fair and not say that they're just lightsaber ripoffs, even though they are. They're more like they look more like the high frequency blade from like Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah, I guess.
Except
it's like a molten lava sword.
A blue lava sword.
Yeah.
And steam comes off of it. It all just looks kind of shitty at the end of the day. I feel like even the first movie looked a bit better than this.
Yeah.
I think the first
can't
first part is more entertaining because at least you visit different locales, even
That's
though they're
true.
all like pretty shitty scenes. Like even though the scene of that when they get the 2-sword lady, on their party, that scene sucks. But at least like you're going to all these crazy places like that feel different. This one, it's like they turn up. They're like, "What do we got? What's our plan? Let's put the grain in the big house so they can't blow us up from space," because they would obviously want to do that and would do it immediately.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and then we'll just, I don't know, we'll fight them. And then and then they train, and then they do exactly what they said they would do, and then they win. And there are a couple casualties. 2-sword lady dies. Some other people who I didn't remember or care about died.
Yeah.
And then the end, they give you a bit of a sequel hook, and then that's it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the 2 hours, folks. I'm off to the bank. Yeah. It's just boring. It's boring.
Yeah.
The first movie, at least you're going around to all these different places collecting these characters that I don't care about. This movie, they're all just walking around this shitty village that looks like crap.
Yeah, the off scale. It's completely off scale.
yeah.
It looks tiny, and
It's
it's
like
weird.
this village is like 7 houses,
Yeah.
But it's like they've got like all these huge
Huge
wheat
fields.
fields,
And they
it's
work
like,
them
man,
manually.
why can't they just fucking give the Empire some of this shit, bro?
Yeah, they work the
They
fields
work
manually
yeah,
too.
they don't
and
have any
it's like,
robots or anything.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the
Yeah.
robot in a bit. We've got to talk about the robot.
Yeah.
Sir Anthony Hopkins. But yeah, that's another thing about this movie is that it's. I mean, obviously the closest comparison is Seven Samurai / Magnificent Seven. I'm gonna keep saying Seven Samurai though because that's the direct
OG
reference. Not that it's the original, but that's the direct reference that Zack Snyder gives, among other things. You know.
Does he? In the interviews? Did you from the
Yeah,
interviews?
no,
Is that what he says?
yeah,
Yeah.
Seven Samurai.
Okay.
Magnificent Seven is brought up a couple times, but I think the go-to for Snyder is Seven Samurai. I guess because it sounds artsier, you know.
Yeah,
it
maybe.
It sounds more like you know what you're talking about if you say like Akira
Yeah.
Kurosawa's Seven Samurai.
Gives you more cred. And gives you
Yeah,
more
yeah,
cred.
yeah. In that one, the it makes more sense because it's not an action movie. The way they set it up is that like the bandits are trying to siege them essentially at the end of the day. Like they have to set up these barricades and like you know just tactically take on the bandits that are trying to attack the village. It takes a lot of planning. They can't just like give everybody guns and then teach them how to shoot the guns.
Yeah.
They have to give them sharpened sticks and stuff and really rudimentary bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Teach them quickly how to use them effectively. Not well, but effectively.
Yeah.
And then set up shop, you know, put up barricades, make moats, wait it out, take the bandits out when they try and come in because they're not getting past the barricades. They're going to start sticking them with spears, you know.
Yeah.
It's compelling because it's like you don't know what's going to happen. It's tense. They're trying to siege them and stuff. The bandits, they pull back. They come up with a new plan. They try and attack from different areas.
That's
Interesting.
The issue
In this
with this, they're just the Empire or whatever. It is there. It's like completely lack of like any sort of tactical thinking.
But
And
it's not even the fact that
like
it's-
they don't change their direction at any moment, right?
But more than that, it's like because it's an action movie, the village just has to turn into a battlefield. It just has to turn into a big battlefield.
Yeah.
The soldiers already, tons of them already inside. The villagers are shooting at them. It's boring. It's really boring because it just becomes a battle mess. You don't know what's happening.
And there's like literally no
Sucks.
There's no visibility to like how well is each side doing, you know? Like that's the thing. It's like how many more soldiers are there? I'm not saying like a fucking counter for dudes, but like visually you could kind of see, you know, what's going on and the tug and pull of the battle.
You don't
know,
really
sort
get
of
that.
thing.
You
But
do obviously get the information. You get the visual information of like the villagers are on the back foot because obviously the big tank turns up and they can't deal with the big tank. So you're like, oh man, it's looking a bit rough. Lady with the two swords gets killed. She kills like a bunch of guys.
She kills like 3 guys, which is I was like, okay.
No,
Because
she kills. Well, she kills.
No,
she did.
she-
Okay, it's not
a bunch
important
of
that she
people
kills.
breach.
Yeah.
A bunch of soldiers breach that house, and she kills like 3 people or something like that because they jump her with swords.
What I mean is that it's not important that she killed a couple guys. What's important is that she did her job of defending the women and children.
Women and children.
The women and children. were
Specifically, that
defended,
little
and then she
boy,
died.
one little boy,
The little
that
boy
stabs the
Stabbed,
guy in there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you get.
But at the
you
same time,
definitely,
you got a scene of her fighting a fucking giant spider, and now she's struggling with 3 guys, you know. And I don't know, it just feels like very.
You see, that's the thing. Next, the big spider that was a woman. These 3 guys, they're big, strong army men.
Their upper body strength.
They're
really
big and tough.
Took it out of her, you know.
They got big swords and guns, and they're big, tough, strong men.
Yeah, exactly. Spartans, you could
And she's
call
trying
them.
her hardest. She gets her robot arm cut off and everything.
And a little boy had to help her in the end because his upper body strength was stronger than hers. Yeah,
Even at that age.
even at that age.
Yeah, so they're kind of on the back foot. They have 2 main turns. The robot comes in. The robot decides, you know what, I will fight for the people. And he goes ham. He kills like 15 guys and then blows up a tank. And then goes on and kills a bunch of other people, I assume. But he's on their side. You know what? You know what's kind of confused me about the robot?
Yeah.
Do you think, why do you kill like an animal to wear those the antlers?
Maybe you don't have to kill an animal to antlers fall off. What
about the cloak?
Antler. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
He's got like
he's
got like furs.
Those specific alien deer, they shed the skin. Okay.
Yeah. They shed their fur. You can.
Yeah,
wrap
exactly.
It around
I would think that even because like I guess apathy is a thing, right? It's like that's why he's like theme, I guess, of
well, no, his more is like he's Jimmy. It's not so much apathy. It's like he's it's a loss of faith. So they set it up in the first movie that all of the robots serve, they're programmed to serve the king and the royal family, but then the royal family got killed, so all of the robots just don't really work anymore. They can do like you can tell them to do stuff. You can be like, take those boxes inside, but when it comes to like combat, they just don't bother. They just like lay down and don't do anything. Exactly. They're like pacifists. Whereas in this movie, the robot's journey, Sir Anthony Hopkins, who I think has like 3 lines in this whole movie, his thing is like, I don't know if I want to fight for the villagers, and the main character,
there's no
lady,
point.
is like, he's like, well,
because you'll lose anyway. That's what he specifically says. Yeah.
And the main character lady is like, isn't it important to fight for something though? And then obviously Sir Anthony Hopkins, they didn't record any more lines, so he's just kind of silent and stoic about it. And then he comes in at the end, he's like, hey everybody, I thought about it and you're right.
No, and also the girl is alive, so I'm like, oh actually the girl is alive, so now I
remember saving that girl.
I have a reason to fight, you know. No, I mean the child of fire.
Oh, you mean the child, the princess,
which is a big point, because then it actually makes sense, because like my original programming is
he's like,
so actually I have no character development whatsoever.
It's kicking back in. I'm ready to go again.
I'm ready to go, you know.
I'm ready to go.
But it would think that his apathy wouldn't even allow him to kill a deer, but I guess he was like, I want some drip, you know, and I'm just gonna grab a deer and fucking rip its head off and then skin it. But it doesn't, I don't get the this fucking for having time of 3 movies, right, having so much time to like develop these characters.
2 movies.
You know fuck all about them, and you like exactly with that thing, because like we end the first part with him like showing himself up, and he's got the dressing right that he's wearing, and you're like, maybe they'll explain it. They don't give a fuck, you know. He doesn't give a fuck, you know. It's and I don't mean explain it to the camera, just I don't know, talk about it in some way, you know. I don't know, another character might be curious about it. I don't fucking know.
The explanation, Max, is, as with all other Zack Snyder movies, he thinks it looks cool. That's it at the end of the day. And I think the issue with Zack Snyder nowadays is that people have much broader cultural references. I think he could get away with movies like Sucker Punch, where they're just like very heavily inspired by like comic books and video games. Because not too much stuff was referencing that in action, so he had like a bit of a niche there. People could go, oh, this shit's kind of crazy. This guy's got such a crazy vision of action, and his worlds are so weird and crazy. But now people have really broad cultural references for this kind of stuff, and they can just watch Rebel Moon, and a lot more people can just recognize that, like, hey, this movie's really uninspired and boring. Like, he really did, and it's something from the interviews I watched before today, before the episode, is that it's like, it's very clear that this is an idea for a thing he's had for a long time, something that has gone through different mediums in his mind. Like at one point he was like, this could be a comic, or it could be a video game or a TV show, and it's landed on a movie, obviously, as well as other properties soon to come. Books and comics and games, plenty on the way.
Yeah.
to the Rebel Moon franchise. But I digress. It's very clear that it's important to him, but it also still just feels like, yeah, he was in the specific story he gives is that he was in school in like a script writing like class or whatever, something along those lines, and is literally just like, he was like, oh, my idea is Star Wars mixed with heavy metal mixed with
like
Seven Samurai, and
child, yeah. So what a child would think.
Not like a child. He was like, well, like a 19, 20-year-old who's in
that's basically
university,
a fucking
who's
child.
Like, yeah.
Come on.
But I'm saying it's not like he was 8 going like writing the script to Rebel Moon. He was still, but it's that it doesn't feel like it's evolved from that point. He's had like fucking 30 years to eventually make it, and this movie sucks.
Yeah, I know. And
it's clear that this movie is this not even this movie, but like this world is kind of important to him. Like this could be his legacy, and it's like it's indicative of the lack of any sort of like lasting style Zack Snyder has.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think Rebel Moon's gonna take off. They made he said in an interview that they were talking about like, do we want to do the Army of the Dead sequel like right away? And he I don't think this is entirely true. I think he worded it in a way that sounds fun. But he was like, no, let's do this other like big franchise IP I've got instead. This idea. And then they were like, hey, this R-rated version is cool, but could you maybe make like a PG-13 version that we could do as well? And he's like, yeah. Which, again, I want to go into this as well. We definitely need to watch the R-rated version.
Do you think they're gonna, for the R-rated version, is it gonna be both?
It's apparently maybe supposed to come out in the summer. I don't know if it will be both parts stuck
I'm
together.
very curious how different is it gonna be.
This is the thing. I do not believe it will be very different. I believe it will be a more graphic version of the film that already exists.
Yeah.
Judging by the way he's talked about what else is in there, like he said in an interview, like, oh yeah, there's more sex and blood and stuff, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's basically exactly what you would assume. It's the same movie, but it's more graphic now, and that's it. But the way he talks about it is that it's he's always saying that it's like a weirder and more subversive and crazier story, the R-rated version.
Okay, and how?
Exactly, that's the point. It's like, I am 100% sure that it's not going to be like that, but I need to watch it to be able to say it wasn't like that.
It's going to just be...
It's going to be the perfect evidence that all of the Snyder Cut shit is like a complete grift.
A grift, yeah. There's
we
going to
all
be
knew,
like...
we
there's
all
gonna be
knew.
That scene where they have sex, the farm guy and the main guy, the lead, they have sex, and then they talk, and she tells him about the backstory about her killing the child of fire or whatever, and then he leaves the house and he turns into a Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
And then you go like, all right.
Or he's just gonna start like jacking off on camera.
Yeah.
Just like
this is the
vigorously,
crazy.
There's like a 5 minute scene where he's just like,
yeah.
Come on.
When they find Titus initially in the first one, he's gonna be there jerking himself.
Every
off.
single character's gonna have a 10-minute scene where they're like cranking one out on their own.
Exactly.
That's it.
And
That's the R-rated version.
This is crazy. It's just...
It's so weird, and it's like, yeah, I guess you know what? I would have to give him credit then. It's like, I definitely wasn't expecting you. He definitely subverted what I was assuming his R-rated version would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to watch if that shit ever comes out. We definitely have to watch.
So much more time on this thing. I
Well,
felt pretty bad with.
I think if we do, those versions, maybe we'll just do it as like a commentary track or a bonus thing.
Oh
where
yeah,
we
that's
just,
true.
Like,
That's what I was.
kill two birds with one stone by watching it and
honestly.
talking about it at the same time.
Yeah, even less effort than a podcast, where we just it's gonna be a reaction podcast, which is like
pretty much.
Yeah. There's a bit in the interview. The what is she called? The main actress.
I don't know.
She is called. I love how it didn't pop up with the IMDb.
I don't
or
care.
anything
I
like
already
that.
know who you're talking about. I
Yeah,
don't care about her name. Just keep
I
talking.
wanted to say her name.
I don't
She
care
said-
about
she-
anybody in this movie. I don't
she
care about
said-
the people that made this
She
movie.
said that like this
I
is her
certainly don't
first
care about Zack Snyder.
role as a lead, and I
Uh-huh.
felt pretty bad for her because I was like, oh,
Fucking,
that's a
you
shame.
say that. Well, yeah, but it's like there's nobody in
Sofia
this movie.
Boutella. That's what she said.
There's not really anybody in this movie. The biggest name is Anthony Hopkins, and he's
Yeah.
barely in it.
He's
This is
doing his lines over the phone. You know,
This is a perfect example. This more so than the first one even feels like the perfect example of a fake movie. It's
Yeah.
a fake movie from a TV show. You're watching
The
a
thing
movie
that
that
the reason
exists
why
in
I
a
feel
universe of a
bad
show.
is that like it was her first like lead role, and I don't know, I she's not a bad actress, and I feel like it's such a shitty thing to happen to a person where you like try this one thing and you get kind of. Hopefully she'll get cast more as a lead somewhere, you know, as she wants to be more leads, and that's what I'm talking about, you know, rather than, you know.
I will
anything
only
else.
feel bad if this person didn't get paid. If this person didn't get paid and they were tricked into being like, you can be the lead, we're not going to pay you, you'll be the lead though, everybody else, you get so much work afterwards, then I'll feel bad. But I mean, if you make a shitty movie and you still you get paid at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't really feel bad, man. You fucking,
Yes.
sorry.
It's dirty
Got
money,
Netflix
man.
money.
It's dirty money. It's
Why is
blood
it
money.
dirty money? What
From
is it
Zack
that's
Snyder,
dirty money?
It's from because it's
from
from Zack
Netflix.
Snyder.
It's from Netflix.
But yeah, another thing that I thought about, just the like that's what they talk about when they talk about these stories, you know, like Zack Snyder's stories. They're so immersive, right? That's what I was like. And I was like,
They are so
how?
immersive.
You know, how are they immersive? You know, and I think I know why. I think no, they call it immersive, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Subversive.
And I'm like, what? I feel like there's an error. There's a crosswires in Zack Snyder's brain of like immersion. He doesn't mean immersion. He thinks like world building is immersion, and that's it. He doesn't, and I you know, that's not enough. You can't just have good ideas or whatever, you know, like little things. You have to have a good story and good characters to pull these ideas together.
It needs to
you
be
know,
compelling. It's not
yeah, like
compelling.
I don't know.
It's a very-
for example, a movie recently, you know, what Challengers, you know. It's an immersive film because the story is good, you know.
I love. By the end
story.
of the film, my heart was pounding in Challenges.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so
Because
that's
you really don't
immersion,
know what's going to
you know?
happen. You get revealed so much and stuff. This final tennis match, the end of it that you're seeing at the end of Challenges, at least for me, my heart was fucking pounding. I'm like, how the fuck is this going to end? This is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm so into it. That's
Exactly.
immersive. That's
And-
compelling. You know, it's gripping. But this, alongside every other Zack Snyder movie, sucks. So it's not. it's bad. He's not good at movies.
yeah.
He's not good at movies.
I wonder what the third one is when it's gonna come out. Is it going to come out? You know,
I think Netflix can read the writing on the wall. Maybe they'll attempt one other thing, like let's give it or the good old college try. But I mean they're so easy. They're so willing to cut and run on like projects that everybody
that's true.
loves. That like, are they really gonna?
and screwing our friends at Evil Genius from the you know the
True.
creation of the Rebel Moon core
True.
book, you know, rule system.
I hope
You
they
know,
won.
the rule bastards, I could say. You know, they're
Yeah,
at Netflix.
yeah,
you know.
They are fuckers over there.
Yeah,
on Netflix.
so-
So yeah, that's what makes me go. I don't know. I don't know if they'll even make anything more of this. They might like tease it a bit here and there, like, yeah, we'd like to do more if there's an audience. But ultimately, this shit just sucks, bro. If they make more, it'll be more shit because. Look, I'm a hater when it comes to Zack Snyder. I am biased. I don't like his movies. But I don't think he makes good movies. Really,
you know.
I don't think any of his movies are good. I think there is a couple movies that are promising. You know, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But like then
I'm
you
not
watch something like this, and it's like, man,
I'm not a fan either, you know. And it's I don't know, like I don't think I'm a fan of anyone's, honestly, as a person. So maybe that's just like, you know,
I'm not talking
just
about his
like
character
good media,
at all.
you know.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
just
talking
like
about his character at all.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know the guy.
creative.
Okay, I don't know Zack Snyder. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
don't
he's
know.
perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
So I mean, he must be if he's making all these. Could you imagine if he was making these shitty movies and he was a bad person?
Yeah, exactly. From the interviews, it seemed like people enjoyed working.
Chill,
on
yeah.
the
Everybody's
movies.
just like he's chill.
Yeah, so you know, I got, you know, at least it was in hell working on this movie.
It's
didn't
really,
have-
it's not a good sign if all you can say about the movie though is that it seemed like everybody who worked on it had a perfectly adequate work environment.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Put that on the poster.
yeah. You need to
This
get
is
something
an
like-
ethical movie.
You need to get something like, you know, Mad Max Furiosa, where everybody hated working on that film because
Well,
they
Mad
were
Max
dying
Fury
in the
Road.
They were Mad Max Fury Road. They were dying in the desert making that. You know,
That's because of Australia, though. That's not because of George Miller, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it
them
might be because of
Australians
George
just
Miller as well. I think it's
whining
just in Australia.
about the heat.
All the
Whining how hot it is.
non-Australians, it's like Tom Hardy and Anya Taylor-Joy and stuff coming
Yeah.
over, having to film this movie and being like, this country's a lot hotter than you say. There's a hot little hole in the ozone layer above this place. Like, I mean, but then you have Chris Hemsworth who's just chill because he grew up there. He's like,
Yeah.
all right,
He's
let's
crazy,
go.
and he you know, he
Hope he
takes that
Dementus.
Australian mentality and creates the Mentos. You know, he
Yeah, but in you to make it epic. Well, that's Rebel Moon Part 2. I don't have
Yeah.
anything else to say about this movie
Yeah.
other than it's bad, but not in any like major way. It's just completely uninspired. Like
yeah.
dog
We're
food.
curious about the cut, I guess.
I'm
That's,
gonna have to watch
fine.
the R-rated version because I'm an avid believer that the Snyder cut thing is like definitely a grift that he leans into
Yeah.
now.
When we make that, you know, we make that live commentary, you know, you hear our boners, you know, through the mic because
Yeah, all the
it will be so
sex.
much sex in there. You
Yeah,
know?
and hopefully it's not more graphic on the assault parts
Jesus, no.
of the film.
Hopefully
like
not.
that. Hopefully not, because there's every possibility that it could be.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know if you considered it, Max, but there's every possibility that the
No. Zack Snyder.
sexual assault could be worse in the movie.
I don't like that thought. I'm gonna banish that thought from my brain.
We'll find out. We'll wait and see if
But,
they even
yeah.
release the Snyder cut. Do you think they'll call it that, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, the Snyder cut?
No, I don't think so.
Rebel
Oh,
Moon,
could
the
no?
Scargiver.
Actually, they might. I think just
Rebel
'cause
Moon
they
Part
think
2, the Scargiver Snyder cut.
they have some sort of. They think that it has some sort of like advertisement potential, but
It does.
doesn't.
No, it definitely does.
It does. You think?
I would say it does. Yeah.
All right, we'll see then.
Because I feel like there are Zack Snyder people who probably watched this film like, this sucked, but I'm definitely going to watch the Snyder cut version because that'll be better. Just
But
like
there'll
Justice
be
League.
less people watching. That's the thing. That's the thing that I'm talking about. You know.
There'll
there
be
won't
less
be-
people watching, but that doesn't mean that doesn't work as something to draw back the people who are looking for the Snyder cut aspect. You know?
Yeah, but it's about infinite growth. You want more people to watch. the
In
entire
that
time,
case,
you know?
if we want to talk about infinite growth, nothing works. None of it works.
How dare you? That's the.
It's not infinite.
It's a core
Everything- all
principle
this shit's
of,
finite.
of how corporations work nowadays. What do you mean it doesn't work?
Max, what did you think of Challengers?
Challenges was good. I liked it. It was.
good
It
movie.
was.
Cool. It's got a great soundtrack.
It's got a really good soundtrack. I was like
Awesome
fucking
fucking
bopping to
soundtrack,
that
bro.
techno shit.
Yeah,
It was
man.
like
The
fucking.
Trent
I haven't-
Reznor stuff.
Yeah, they should fucking add
holy.
more of that shit into movies in general. I was like,
Yeah.
this is fucking good. Like we gone into like heavy electronica, you know, like you're not like we got like Daft Punk, where it's like more funky, you know, and stuff like that. But we just want like this techno, like techno is just so good, but yeah, it was a great story, great performances, honestly.
Good performances,
Good, yeah.
a great intricate love triangle narrative. More homosexual than I thought it'd be. Great undertones of homosexuality.
Yeah, great.
As
well. It was definitely
like the leads don't ever like fuck. They make out at one point inadvertently. But there's always
they got tricked.
They did get tricked. They didn't seem that fussed about it.
Bothered by it. Yeah,
but they've always got such great like sexual tension between them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically about an indirect kiss between them through Zendaya.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have an indirect fuck through Zendaya.
In general, it is about their relationship. Like in the end, it's like she's all about tennis in the end.
Yeah,
and it's more. They care about each other more than she cares about.
She needs to get them to care about each other so that they care about tennis again.
Yeah, exactly. Like
the only way they can get back to how they used to be is with a rivalry, and the only rivalry that matters to them is which one of them gets to fuck Zendaya. And hey, guess what? The answer is now both of them do it. Maybe.
God damn it.
Who knows?
Yeah.
They embrace each other at the end. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That awesome. It's awesome. And the way the fucking shots at the end of the movie are incredible. The way it ramps up, the fucking shot from underneath the court, when you're the ball flying through the air between the rackets.
They get closer and closer and closer.
Zendaya fucking gets up and screams, "Come on," at the end.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff early on.
Yeah. A lot of callbacks to stuff, a lot of like these, like the fact that like at the end he tells him indirectly again the way he is.
Does a bit. That's because that's something that a lot of people talked about when it was coming out, and it's something I agree with. It's the way a lot of like comedy works as well. Is that the reason why it hits is because you can see it coming. You, the viewer, know that because they set it up earlier in such a perfect way of being like, oh, if you had sex with her, put your ball here, like when you're serving.
It's such a stupid way to do it.
Because he's like, oh, I don't want to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. That's crass or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the end, because the whole time, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. You're just waiting. The intensity that it comes from, like knowing that it's coming and just waiting for him to. There are so many points where you're just sitting there going like, "Oh, he's gonna do it now. He's gonna do it. Oh no, he's not done it yet, but he's gonna. He's gonna." But I should have went to see that in the cinema again.
Yeah,
it's a good
and it was a great film. Highly recommended. Watch it instead of Rebel Moon Part 1 or
Hats
Part
off. Because I wasn't like a huge Call Me By Your Name guy.
Mm-hmm.
By Luca Guadagnino. I don't know. He's Italian. I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize for butchering it.
Did you Did you do the hand while you were saying it?
Yeah.
That's what. This forms the sound wave to actually make it sound,
Like Call Me By Your Name was a good movie, but I didn't really vibe with it too much. But this one,
watched it. But
this one, that hit for me
because
I wasn't expecting because I was gonna avoid the movie because I was like I saw the trailers in the cinema like a lot and I was like I don't know, the movie doesn't really appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like a huge Zendaya head. I know everybody loves Zendaya these days. She's fine.
Everybody loves Zendaya.
Everybody loves Zendaya. They love Zendaya, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So I was gonna miss it, but then I was seeing the reaction to it and how it was like had a crazy ending and stuff, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And I was fucking thrilled I did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a movie!
Let's see 98 on Rotten Tomato. Well deserved.
A lot of people were like not liking it though.
Yeah,
there are a lot of people who were like, the movie sucked. It was stupid.
the audience score 73, 89 for critics, 73 for audience. It's a pretty high audience score, honestly. I would have thought
decent.
Yeah, it would be a lot lower.
People that left like that sucked. Anyway,
we watched Civil War. I watched Civil War too. It was kind of meh.
It was better than I thought it would be, but it was exactly as completely and utterly unembarrassingly apolitical as you would think.
Yeah. I don't even I don't know. It's just.
I think part.
I
I got the impression that it was intentional in how you were not supposed to care about it whatsoever, but then subsequent material from Alex Garland talking about the movie afterwards is like, I guess it sounds like maybe he thought about this world, but I went into the movie thinking, or at least I got out of the movie while watching it, that I don't think Alex Garland cared about the world, and it was more just supposed to be a coming-of-age road trip movie about the America's noblest heroes, war journalists.
Yeah, it feels really strange because like this movie, like what, like the thing that this movie kind of disappointed me in the most is like although it's talking about, and it's also the timing on the movie of like Civil War, you know, in America sucks. You know, I don't know if it's like, and it's not the best film in the world, and I don't know, and the topic is pretty hot right now, sort of thing. And I guess maybe that's why it was made in the end. But it was still Americanized, you know. It was still the way they showed, like war, you know. It you know, we do see things like, you know, mass graves and stuff like that, you know. It's horrible shit, right? Horrifying stuff, you know. But compare this movie, for example, for a movie like, and I know we can't fucking compare, but like Come and See, you know, and it's you can't compare it, you know, like the way it shows like civilians, right? Because like this movie should have kind of is about people that are outside of the conflict, right? In a way, you know, and it's like, I don't know, like all this vignettes, because they don't feel like actual situations; they feel like vignettes that. They go through, right?
But that's why that's because it's a road trip movie.
Yeah,
they don't really have one specific situation to deal with. They have like 5 little escapades. That they do throughout the film.
Shit that they do in those situations is just fucking ridiculous. Like the stuff with the car, them changing cars mid drive.
Well, that's because Max, you're not understanding it. The reason why war journalists are noble heroes is because they're stupid thrill junkies.
They're thrill junkies, right? Where they run between soldiers during an active shooting, and I don't know.
Just because they gotta get that one perfect shot.
I think I might just be like fucking. I don't know. Maybe I should do some research because maybe they do that shit. But I don't think anyone normal, like any soldier, would allow that to happen. Like they would just go fuck off.
Here's what researching it would do. Either A, they don't do that, and the movie is stupid. B, they do that, and the movie is still stupid, but also the war journalists are stupid.
You know, it's like, I don't know what this movie is about, because either it's talking about how like
it's about nothing. It's a coming of age movie. It's about a lady who's disillusioned with her choice of career and seeing a young person coming into it, and having a sense of like, I need to warn her to get out of here, but you can't because she's a young person and she's got her own ideals, she's got her own drives and passion, and no matter how curmudgeonly you are going like, you know, you don't want to do this because it sucks. War journalism sucks. Actually, taking pictures is awful. They still go and do it, and then at the end she dies, and the girl lives on, and it passes on to her. And it passes on to her. You get that.
the curse, the virus.
I like that visual, the little bit of visual language of like you would see Kirsten Dunst's view every now and then, and it would imply that she views everything as though a camera. You know, You get that little
the snapshots,
light refraction kind of view every now and then whenever it goes to her POV, and then at the end when she dies, that passes over to the girl, and it's a coming of age story with a civil war as a backdrop.
Yeah, definitely. So it didn't really need that civil war then at all, basically, And I don't know, it's just
No, but it certainly got people watching it, didn't it?
Yeah, that's awful. And they also did the AI generated fucking posters.
Well, I think that was more
but
just
I think
an
that was like a
A24. I think that was
third-
just A24 marketing being like, ooh, we could make like 5 posters really quickly and
Yeah.
get some buzz
Really
about the
quickly.
movie before we
Yeah.
take it out of cinemas, see if we can get a couple more extra tickets sold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I don't know. Maybe they fucking emailed Alex Garland going, "Hey, how can you approve these posters?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure."
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
No, it's not
It's
a great
just-
movie, but I don't know. It was entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like, is it pro-journalists, like against journalists? Like at the end, I feel like it's like it has such a huge, like, the ending is so kind of a non-ending, that it shows like him going there and going like, give me a quote, and the quote is like, please don't kill me, and him going like, that's enough, and
I
all
think
of
I
that
would say it's
journey that goes
pro-journalist.
there, that that entire journey caused so much pain to people around them and themselves, in the end it's like, what's the point of that, and
No,
I
I
get
would- I would still
her
say it's
character is like,
pro-journalist.
it's like, oh, I thought I was warning people by sending these, making these, pictures, taking these pictures, and in the end she dies and the girl continues doing the thing, but it's like, on top of her using a film camera instead of using a normal camera, like a digital camera, because I was like, you should be collecting evidence, like that's what you are as a journalist. You're a person that collects evidence, for future generations. And her using a film camera, in my opinion, is even like less, it's more like this is for me rather than the journey of it, like the role of what a journalist should be, because like the people back in the day didn't have a different option, right? They only had film, nowadays it's like you can fucking do a 24-hour live stream, of things. And that's that then can help later on to bring people to justice that they were hoping that they weren't going to be met with justice, but yeah, it's like, I don't know, really I was like, kind of like, I watched this one, I was like, whatever, it's just, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it's a fantastic movie or anything. I just thought it was entertaining. Like, there's the war scenes are very interestingly shot. It's like a video game, For the most part, I just watched those scenes and I was like, damn, these combat scenes are very interesting,
Yeah, they had Boogaloo
war in the
Boys
city
or
and
whatever.
stuff.
They had Boogaloo Boys, or whatever they're called.
The Jesse Plemons bit was great, but
Yeah.
obviously it is. It's got Jesse Plemons in it. He's a very frightening.
He turns
man
things
when he
into
wants to be.
gold. He thinks he.
But yeah, no, that's the thing. I just was like, I think if it was more just, they couldn't have advertised it this way because then nobody would have seen it.
Yeah.
But if it was just advertised as a coming of age movie, I think people would have like maybe clocked in a little bit more. Not that they would have been like, oh, it's good now, but maybe they would have been like, yeah. I think a big issue is that all of the marketing was about like, there's a crazy American Civil War going on. It's so crazy. California and Texas are allies with each other.
Yeah.
That's how insane it is. This movie is gonna blow your mind. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
This war is insane. And then you
Yeah,
watch it.
What
and
kind
it's like,
of American are you? That
it's
was like a
like
big
these
thing. Yeah.
dumb journalists. Yeah, what kind of American are you? And it's like, oh damn, what kind of American are they? Are they the good kind or the bad kind? What would be a
yeah.
good kind or bad? I can't wait to see this movie to find out what this Jesse Plemons guy thinks is a good or bad kind of American. And you don't find out because that's not important, because the movie is actually just, what if some fucking stupid idiots had to drive across the country
Yeah.
while some bad
They had
shit
to-
was happening?
Yeah, they had to go to DC.
They gotta go to
we have-
DC. We
We have 48 hours to get to DC.
We gotta
and
get
I'm
to DC.
high on weed, and I'm wearing the sunglasses,
I'm
and it's
drinking-
nighttime,
Yeah, I'm drinking fucking tequila and smoking joints, and oh man, isn't taking pic. Oh, I'm getting horny because of all this war. This war is making me so horny for interviewing people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst is like, I thought I was doing a noble thing by taking pictures of guys getting burned to death.
Yeah,
but now,
that was like
now
that
it
was like,
turns
fuck,
out
that's fucked up.
it turns out nobody cared.
Nobody
What the fuck? You're telling me nobody gave a shit? Oh fuck! It makes a lot of sense why after this movie. I think Kirsten Dunst's character Alex Garland put a lot of himself into it. It makes a lot of sense why after this movie came out, or just before it was coming out, he was like, "Yeah, I'm done with movies. Yeah, I'm finished." Because it's just about a lady who's like done with her career that she's put so much of her life into that she's like, this shit sucks, but it's all I can do. It makes sense why Alan Garland made this movie and why it might be his last, at least for a long time. Who knows?
Doesn't she say it like that? Oh no, that's a different. That's a different movie. Fuck.
You got the big guy, the big old guy who's like, I've been in this business for so long.
And he's like, please, we should go around.
Like,
and
we
they're
really
like,
shouldn't
no.
do all of this dumb shit you all keep doing because we're gonna die. And they're like, let's do more dumb shit.
Shit. You know what I was thinking?
Let's jump between cars. Whee!
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that, you know what they should do? They should replace they shouldn't have, like three hardened journalists, one even more hardened, and then one young one. They should have 3 young journalists and the old guy. And then you could have an element of like peer pressure and stuff like that. And they're kind of playing journalists rather than actually being journalists, Yeah. And he's kind of, because he's old, he's reliant on them, but he's trying to give them wisdom, but they're not listening to him.
He's just an old guy.
He's just an old guy, and then someone gets shot in the head,
Stephen something. Who cares? Don't watch Rebel Moon Part 2, The Stargiver. Don't watch Civil War. Watch The Challengers, movie of the year. Fuck it. One of the best of the year so far.
Yep.
Go out and check it out if you can, and if not, watch it at home because I think it's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon. Yes,
It's on Amazon Prime.
You can do
motherfucker.
whatever
can
you
watch
like,
it
actually.
from the comfort of your own home. But until then, this has been Dead Ensigns, episode 100. Wow. I've been Ben. This has been Max.
It's me.
If you'd like to find out more, you can go to Twitter, Dead Ensigns. You can go to YouTube and watch the podcast there and leave a comment, or you could email us deadensigns@gmail.com. But if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to listen to it, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, etc., etc. And it would be good if you could leave a rating or subscribe if you want to, if you enjoy it. Either way. See you.
All right. Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.